First thing what we are going to learn is mainly two things. One, how to create a web service anyways. And before web service, we have to learn one thing called web server. So in this web server, we are going to learn a Tomcat. I hope you guys, some of you guys know what is a web server and how to run, right? But if you don't know, that's fine. You can actually, I'll give you the complete configuration settings, how to do, how to start a server, how to shut down a server, everything. Don't worry. And then once we are comfortable with this, then we'll go to web service. Okay. Fine. So, so why Tomcat? In the sense, like we have many web servers in market. We have WebLogic, we have JBoss, right? We have WebSphere, right? You have Bluefish, Glassfish, right? You have so many IIS. You have, right? You have so many servers, and each and every server.
Tomcat is open source.
Yeah, Tomcat is open source. Yeah, there are some open source servers also. But why Tomcat is mainly, Tomcat is something, right, which is an Apache product, and most of the Java applications are supportive for this. And it's a lightweight server. You have both the servers types in Tomcat. So lightweight server for development, right? Because you need a Tomcat when you are actually developing a web application or something using Eclipse, right? You should have a some server or some web server attached to Tomcat. I'll show you even that, right? I'll show you how to collaborate Eclipse with Tomcat. Okay, I'll show you that. So in that way, you can actually have any number of web servers. So we are going to look into Tomcat. Now, whatever configuration things we are going to look in Tomcat, right? It will be more or less same in even other servers, but the only thing is they will have their own UI or GUI parts to do the configuration settings, right? They'll have their own commands, they'll have their own style of running and all, right? So here, when I say Tomcat, right, it's a Apache product. So let us see how we can actually set the Tomcat. Now first what we have to do is we have to download the Apache Tomcat. Now it will be in Tomcat Apache site. Okay, that's fine. If you don't get this URL, you can go to Google, just say Tomcat 7 download or Tomcat download. You'll get the first official site of Apache Tomcat. Click on that, right? It will take you to the binaries site. Okay, so here are the binary distributions, where from there you will have to download the server binary, right? Now anyways, we also have Tomcat 8, but it's we have this version, but why we are going for 7, right? Now why we are going for 7 is, so the Eclipse which we are using now, right, even you can check if you want parallelly, right? If you can see your Eclipse, so there will be a thing called perspective here, Java and JDW, right? So click on JDW perspective just for once. Now if you click on that, you will see something called servers here, right? As of now, there is no server configured on my Eclipse. If you click on that, there will be some. I'll get back to this again. Don't worry about this, guys. Okay. If you click on Apache, right, now you can see that the latest version which I can actually configure to my Eclipse is Tomcat 7. Even if you can check, even if your Eclipse is Kepler version, right? I'm using Juno. Maybe you may have Kepler version, because when we started our Android code site, the new version actually got released, which is Kepler. You may have that, but even in Kepler, we will have the same server called Tomcat 7. Now, based on this adapter, now these things are called as an adapters, right? So, which means if I have a Tomcat, downloaded, right? If I set that to my Eclipse, right, which means Eclipse can support the maximum of 7th version of Tomcat. That is the reason why I'm actually asking you guys to go for Tomcat 7 download. Tomorrow maybe if you get an update, right? So if you update your Eclipse, so how can you update your Eclipse? One thing is you can directly go for help and just say check for updates. Now normally what it will do, if your Eclipse is upgraded to the new version of Tomcat, right, then automatically you will get that update. And if you don't find that link, maybe you can just go for install new software, right? And normally when you click on install new software, you can give your own link. I have many links, don't worry about this. You may not have these many links. Now you can say this is my main link, right? Whatever new releases actually come up to my Juno, right? So you can get it, it will actually get for, everything from it. Now this is my link. Maybe you will have maybe Kepler version of that. Okay, so you can see there are so many when I click on uninstall, you can see that there are so many things which I'll have to install. These are all updates for my Eclipse, right? If you do that, and if there is something on Tomcat, so let me see if there is anything on Tomcat. Mobile device development is there, SOA development is, testing is there, and anyways, there is no okay, since there is no update on Tomcat. And you can get one more thing, you can just say download additional updates. Now when I click on this, right, if there is a adapter for this Eclipse version, right, which is a Apache server, then you can directly select, and you can see there is a Glassfish tools, right, one new update is there. Select on that, and when you click on finish, it will be added to our Eclipse version. But in that way you can get it. Now this is something which is being retrieved from online actually, right, for our Eclipse version, right? So that is the reason why we are actually going for this. Don't worry, even if you go for any of the versions, right, the working pattern will be same. Now here we are actually here to learn the working pattern of our Tomcat, right? So once you are in your Tomcat, just go ahead, go down, and here you can see the space called binary distributions. This is the actual one which will give us a direct distribution. Now here there are two different ways how you can actually set up Tomcat. Now one way that you can actually install your Tomcat in your machine, or you can directly download a zip file, right? You can directly download a zip file and use it directly in your machine. Just unzip it as we have used our Eclipse or SDK, right? You can directly do that and start using it. That is how we can do, right? Now let me just go ahead with the second option, because in our second option we'll be checking out each and every configuration. But if you install, right, there will be no more that you have to configure, right? So here you have to select Tomcat for your own version of your machine. So let me go and select 64-bit Windows zip here, right? It will actually save so it will save the Tomcat. Now I'm going to take that Tomcat in one of my folders here. Let it download, and we'll take this up.
Can you install SQL on Mac?
SQL on?
Mac.
SQL, you mean MS SQL, right? Microsoft SQL, I doubt it.
In Android.
Okay,
so when you are opening that Java EE, you are not able to open the Android SDK manager or Android AVD also.
I have that, right?
I mean, in window, under window. So, but I don't know why in my Eclipse I did not see that one.
No, I didn't actually get your point. You mean when I change the perspective of my Eclipse from Java to Java EE, right?
Yes, Java
Yes.
EE, I am not able to see that AVD and Android SDK in my window.
Okay, you mean these two, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay, you can do one thing. If you don't see this, right, you can go to customize perspective, right? In window, you have something called, yes, there is a customize perspective. You can go to commands here, command group availability, and maybe your this Android SDK and AVD manager is not checked. Just check it, right? And if you check it up, and those things will actually
You
let you.
have to do it for every perspective.
No, not needed. Not if you do. I mean, see, when you actually install your ADT in Eclipse, right? These things should be enabled by default. Honestly speaking, right? Sometimes it may not. Yeah.
But I mean, in Java perspective, I can able to see these things. But when I'm changing the perspective, I'm not able to see.
Okay, okay. Which means, you know, you may. So what would happen? Would have happened is like you have first actually plugged your Reality to, you know, I mean, you have plugged your Reality with SDK in your Eclipse, and then you have updated your SDK. Maybe it may happen.
Oh.
Right, it may happen. That's why, you know, whenever you actually download a SDK, right, first update your SDK to all the packages you have, and then you can do it. Yeah. But I think once you actually enable these two for one perspective, right, it will stay forever. Right? It will stay forever for not all. Maybe for that perspective, it will stay forever. Right? Okay. So here, let me just take this. Come on. I haven't seen my internet going so slow. I would have downloaded it already. So if you want to change port of your web server, right, now this is the area where you have to change. Now this file, which is server.xml, we got it from something called our Tomcat folder. When I unzip it, go to Tomcat, and you have something called conf folder here, go to it. Now you have something called server. From here, we just open that server.xml. And there is a tag called connector tag where we have something called protocol HTTP 1.1. Now here we'll have to mention the port. Right? Now this is the area which you have to change, and that's it. Don't touch anything else in the server.xml. Fine. The next one. The next one is the Tomcat users. So Tomcat users is nothing but in order to create admins, right? Now normally, see, whenever there is a web server, right, so few people will be there to admin or to monitor the server. So whenever I say monitoring the server, which means checking whether the server is running fine or not, checking whether there is any memory leakage, all these things, right? So normally whatever actually I'm showing, it is not your task mainly. This is the task who is actually taking care of server maintenance. But I'm just showing you so that you can actually create your own Tomcat in your machine, right? So that you can actually create a web service, deploy it, and use it on an Android. Now basically in your Tomcat, right, by default your Tomcat users part will be completely blank. Now you can see everything is commented, right, which means it is completely blank. Now here we'll have to create our user roles. Now let me create one of the user role here, which is, let's say, Tomcat, and let me take a user. Okay, so by default one user in Tomcat is admin. So let me give something called admin user, and let me give this role as roles here, admin, and let me paste username as admin and password as admin. Save it up. Now this is something which will actually create a role called admin, which will be already there in our Tomcat, and it will take this username and password as by default roles. Now you can see there is one more role called manager GUI, which means in order to check out all the the features of Tomcat UI, which is a page. I'll show you once we are done with this, right? In order to get the actual features access, you have to give one more role called manager GUI. So let me create one more role. So in order to give more roles, just give comma and paste it up. So we have to create the same role here, which is manager GUI. Right? So this will actually give you the complete access. That admin can be both main admin and your manager GUI. He can access anything you want. Now these are the two things, configurations, main configurations we actually have to look into it. Okay, now these are the two things which we have. Now here you can see that is server and Tomcat's users. That's it. End of the story. Now let's get back. Now those are the two main settings which you have to do, and then how to start the web server is the question. Right? Now in order to start, you have to go to bin here. In your bin, if you can see here, you have something called startup.batch. Now this is a batch file which is used to start the Tomcat. If you are using Linux server, or maybe if you are using Mac, I hope you have to use a shell file. You have something called sh, which is a shell. You may have to use, you may have to run this shell, right? So these are the two files you have to start the Tomcat. You can directly click on this startup here, and you can see your Tomcat will actually start. So let it run. Right? Now you can see the server startup in so and so many seconds is done. Now you can see one step here that this part, which is let me just show something like this part. Starting protocol handler HTTP 49s. So this is a port which we actually mentioned in here, and it took the same port right now. So this means your Tomcat is started. Now this is not the end of story. In order to make sure your Tomcat is started, right, you'll have to browse this Tomcat in your one of the browser. So let's go ahead and see how we can browse. So you'll have to go to localhost. Now I hope you know that localhost is nothing but localhost will actually show us something like my local IP. So let me go to something called command prompt here. Now here, normally if you go to ipconfig, right, so now you will see your IPv4 IP of your machine, right? Now this is a normal machine, right? Now normally let's say if your IP is a dynamic IP, so all of our machines will be dynamic IP, right? Because static IP is something which is very costly. You have to buy an IP for your machine. But normally if you are actually using a home edition of workstation, right, then you don't need a static IP. Now every time your IP gets changed, will get changed, right? So for that reason, you have to actually point it to the same IP. You have something called localhost, colon, you have to give the port and enter. Now when you enter this up, right, now you can see here, if you are seeing this, which means you have successfully installed your Tomcat. Now this is something which is a complete Tomcat setup you have, right? Anyways, we haven't actually started something on how to deploy. In order to deploy, we have to create something, right? No worry, we'll see how to deploy part after creating web services. Now immediate thing what we'll have to see here is, now you can see here that this is a port and localhost. Now instead of localhost, you can also give your IP if you want. Now let me just go and say host name. Now you can see my host name is, let's say Srinath, right? Let me just go to something Srinath colon 9999. You can see I'm able to access mine. This Srinath is nothing but sometimes whenever you actually browse on google.com or so and so, right, this is nothing but your host name, and the host name will be same as the domain name which I mentioned. Now that is something how the web actually goes. Now what about the port? Now if the port is 80, right, 80 is a default port. If you don't mention any port, which means you're actually trying to access 80 port, and all the big servers like servers like facebook.com or google.com or gmail.com, you would have seen that you don't have to give any port. Why? Because each and every site runs on default port called 80 port. That is the reason why you don't have to give. But here, as we have mentioned port that I want my site to run on this so and so port, right? That's why it is running. Now I can't give my port as 80 because some of my applications are running on the same port. You can't use same port for multiple applications. That is one thing. So when you open something, like you can see here, my application is running on so and so port, right? Which means you can't use the same port, which means this port will be locked up. Once you are using, you can see my Tomcat is started and everything is running, which means this port will be locked. Right? So that is the one which we have. Now, next step is where to deploy the application. Now, where to deploy is something which will be doing what on Manager app. When I click on this, right, now you can see it will ask for username and password. Now this is something which I have already mentioned in here, which is this one, admin and admin, right? So this is something when we actually try to access Manager GUI, right, then you will have to mention your username and password here. So let me just give username and password as admin. So it's admin and admin. Now you can see this is the one which is a Tomcat deployment server. Now let me just remove this Manager app. Let's say I'm not giving this role. Let me show you what happens if I don't give this role. Okay, let me save this file. Okay, now one more thing, whenever you change any of the configuration, you have to restart your server. Now in order to restart, first what we have to do, we have to shut down the server. Now how to shut down the server again? Now in the same bin folder of your Tomcat, you will have one more file called shutdown. So this is a batch file, and if you're using your Windows machine, it's a batch file, and if you're using Mac or Linux, then I hope it will be, for Linux I'm sure that it will be shell file, but I don't know whether the shell file will work on Mac. So I think Sandhya, you'll have to check once. Okay, now so let me shut down it. So when I click on shutdown, now you can see my site, which is this Tomcat, will get down. So okay, you can see that will go down. Now if you go back to your site and if you try to access it, right, I am trying to access my Tomcat again back. Now you can see cannot connect to the server, which means my server is down. Okay, so now let me restart the server, which means let me start up the server again. My server will start. So server start up in so and so milliseconds. Let me go and refresh it again. Now you can see here. Now let me click on Manager app. You can see here, when I click on Manager app, right, it says the role which you have to mention is not there. This is the one which it says. Okay, so that is the reason why you have to mention your Manager GUI role in your users, which is here, and save it up. Very important thing, right? Now once you save this again, what you have to do, you have to restart your server. Now shut down the Tomcat and start the Tomcat. Okay, the Tomcat server started. Now let's go back here. Let's access the server. Click on Manager app. Now you can see it got open. Now why it immediately got opened is we have already entered the admin role, right? That's why it directly entered. Otherwise it will actually will ask for the user ID and password. So let me just open the same URL in some other browser. Let me just open IE. Now let us say I'm actually trying to access this from here. Right? Now it will open our Tomcat. Okay. Now click on Manager app. Now you can see it will ask for user ID and password. So let me give admin and admin here. Enter. Now you can see that your IE will open. Now this is your Tomcat Web Application Manager. Now this is the area where we'll be deploying and undeploying the web applications, different web applications which we have. Right? So this is a complete setup of Tomcat which we have in, which we are going to use for our web service deployment. And what we are going to do, we are going to deploy our web service in this Tomcat, and then we will try to get the data using our Android. So that is what we are going to do. The next step what we are going to see is a web service creation. So web service creation is something which is service in our next class. fine. So any questions in the Tomcat setup? Anywhere you have any questions? Right. So I'll be sharing these binaries which I have downloaded, right? I'll share the same thing to you too. You can just follow the same thing and try to get this screen. If you can get this screen, right, which is, I'm sorry, this screen, right?
Is it the same for Mac also?
Yes, it will be same for Mac too, I hope. Just try it once.
Okay.
Have you downloaded this Tomcat for Mac? Someday maybe you can try it now itself. Anyways, we are going
I
to,
think I